everybody, thanks for joining me again today. I say again because I just shot a video wearing the same apparel and expression on my face, which is this one. I did want to make as many videos as humanly possible today, considering I will be busy the upcoming week and my husband needs to take the video camera to work tomorrow and he better not break it. So I wanted to make a couple videos for you guys to watch so I don't have to go on such a big break like I did last week and the week before. And today I want to tell you guys about a little bit of a haunting I feel that is going on in my house right now. Now, I don't usually say that I have ghosts in the house. I have told you guys in the past that I do sometimes see a man who looks with the same stature as my husband. I don't say he looks exactly like him, but as I catch him walking by, I say, hey, there's Justin, I'm gonna go follow him and give him hell because he's not listening to me. I follow the guy and I turn the corner and he's not there. My husband's like behind me, pitching hell at me because I'm yelling at him. So that's the extent of what I have seen really inside the house, besides a couple of orbs a couple of times maybe, but that's pretty much it. But I will tell you guys, it started about 2.5 weeks ago where I have been having some serious, I don't want to say paranormal activity because that is a misused cliche and just not a fun thing to say anymore, but I will say paranormal activity in my house. I got 2 EVPs in here, guys, and I never get EVP in my house, try as I might. So I just want to share this with you guys now because I know you want to hear it, especially somebody has been asking me to share this, and you know who you are. So I'm going to start back about 2.5 weeks ago. It has to be about 2.5 weeks ago. It was right before my grandmother passed, so it was 2.5 weeks ago. I was in bed one night and I fell asleep in my normal position, which was on my side, and I was sleeping, and maybe about 15 minutes went by when all of a sudden I'm on my back, the covers are off of me. I'm not saying something viciously threw me on my back and ripped my covers off, because it didn't, because if it did I wouldn't be talking about it on YouTube. But all of a sudden I'm on my back, covers off, and I'm not moving. So I don't know if you guys have ever had sleep paralysis, but sleep paralysis is something that I have experienced my entire life from probably, I don't want to say puberty because that's a nasty word, but puberty on. Consensus says it starts at puberty. And that's what I was experiencing that night. So I'm on my back about 10 minutes after I fall asleep in a complete state of sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is terrifying. You are pretty much, you just cannot move. You know you're in a sort of state of sleep, but not exactly, because you're conscious of what's going on and there's nothing you can do to move. And if you're a claustrophobe like I am, it really sucks. So in my state of sleep paralysis, as I can't move, I'm flat on my back, I hear from my left side that somebody is standing on the left side of the bed right next to me and they're talking. And it's a man, and I subconsciously know it's a man. I can't turn my head to see them, but I see him right here. Anybody who thinks that I'm insane right now, just don't watch this, okay? Most of you know that I do this stuff, so you know. So I just know. And I hear a man talking to me. It's a very deep voice, and he's saying a lot, but I can't make out what he's saying. And I'm terrified. So what I start doing is clawing at the bed, because that's the only thing I can move is this hand, my right hand. And I'm clawing at the bed and I start screaming an inner scream, because I can't scream out loud. And eventually that inner scream comes out as an outer scream, and my husband hears it and wakes me up. Out of the sleep paralysis, I suppose you could say. You can call that a nightmare. I call it sleep paralysis, people call it sleep paralysis, but I'm going to tell you, that's not the worst of it, okay? I'm up out of sleep paralysis, and, you know, I'm scared because that was a pretty scary thing to happen, even if it was only a nightmare. What I do is I roll over and I have to go to the bathroom, but I'm not getting up. And I make my husband hold me because I'm scared. And I'm telling him, I'm like, I'm really scared. What's going on? And he's like, oh, no, don't worry about it. My husband talks in his sleep, so he probably wasn't even awake for all I know at that time. So I'm laying on my side, and it's like 3 minutes later after I wake up, and all of a sudden from my door, my bedroom door, I start to hear a little girl talking. So I'm just laying there, and I hear this little girl talking from the bedroom door, and this is the catch. My husband's head shoots up and looks right at the bedroom door. So then I'm sitting there and I'm like, victory, I'm not the only one who hears this. And I say to him, I say, what is it? What is it? You know, I'm not just like, hey, do you hear that too? Do you hear that ghost? I'm freaking scared. So I'm like, what the hell is it? And he's like, oh, nothing, go to sleep. So I'm like, I'm laying there. And it happened again. And again, his head shoots up. He looks towards the door. And I say, what the hell is it? Nothing. Go to sleep. So I'm laying there, and nature is like, you're not going to sleep. Get up. So I get up, and I turn the light on because I have a bedside light, thank God. And I turn the light on, and I go to the bathroom. So as I'm going to the bathroom, I hear in my kitchen, all of a sudden, beep, 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 beep. And what makes that sound is when you push the button on the oven to start it, you hear beep, 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 beep. So right away I'm like, oh my God. And I'm hurrying up in the bathroom, and I'm like, ah. And then I just shoot right back in the bedroom, and I pull the covers up, and I go to sleep, okay? So in the morning, I wake up when my husband gets up and he's getting dressed. I'm like, what do you remember about last night? Nothing. I swear to God, we could have like 8 demons and Satan himself in the closet poking my husband with an absurdly long pitchfork in the ass at night. And the next morning I can say, what do you remember about last night? Oh, nothing. What do you mean nothing? He heard everything, but he don't remember it. I say to him, so when you go in the kitchen, I bet the oven's on. And he's like, again? Because this has happened before. When I've gotten up to use the bathroom, I've heard beep beep in the kitchen. We've gone in there and somebody has pushed the button. It's called the bake button, so you push that button and then you set the temperature and then you push start. So what they push is just the bake button. They don't start the oven, thank God they haven't burned us to the ground yet, but you never know. He's gone into the kitchen that day and he said, yes, the oven was tampered with again. It must be the damn electricity. And I'm thinking to myself, again, yes, in the middle of the night when I'm going to the bathroom, the electricity decides at that moment it's going to act up again. So that was pretty much the worst of it. I would say the most scary part of it. The day after, or the day after, I decided to try to get EVP in here to see if I could get what's in here to speak to me on my recorder, see if it can, you know, communicate another way besides coming to me in the dead of night and terrifying me. And I didn't get anything during a session. That was very frustrating. What I decided to do was I actually just got up one day and I turned the EVP recorder on and I decided to just go about my business. Before I did go about my business though, I said in the house, if there's any spirits in here who want to communicate with me, you need to come with me now and you need to speak into the recorder so I can hear you and I know what you want. So I got EVPs, guys, and I'm telling you, they're clear enough and loud enough for me to hear them without headphones, but you might want to put headphones on to hear them because they are a little quiet. But I was the only one in the house that day when I got these EVPs. The dogs were not even inside, they were outside. I wouldn't attempt to do EVP with the dogs in. Anyways, let me tell you what I got. The first EVP I got, you guys are going to think this is completely odd, but it was when I was in my freezer. Now, I wasn't in my freezer freezing. I was going into the freezer to find hamburger buns for dinner. And what happened was I actually shifted and my knee hurt because it was, you know, it wasn't a crappy day out, but I was having a crappy fibromyalgia flare up in my knee. and I shifted the wrong way and my knee hurt. Right before you hear me say ow on the EVP, you're gonna hear a little girl, and what it sounds like she says is it sounds like she yells out, "Freeze it!" Which makes sense because I'm in the freezer. Almost sounds like she's saying freeze it. So I'll play that for you now. Ow. 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 And then the next EVP I actually got, I came into the house from the freezer and I said, again, if there's something along the lines, I can't exactly remember what it is, I said something along the lines of, so if there's any spirits in the house, do you want to speak to me or communicate with me? And you can hear a guy's voice say, "Who's there?" I'll play that for you now. Again, I can hear it in my speakers. You gotta listen carefully. You might want to use headphones. Spirits in my house? Spirits in my house? Spirits in my house? So this makes sense to me since I did hear a little girl's voice that night when I was having the sleep paralysis and I woke up from it. And I did hear a man's voice speaking to me when I was in sleep paralysis. But now I'm left with kind of getting sort of a feeling that there are presences in my house that weren't here before. I'm wondering, did I pick them up on a ghost hunt? Did I pick them up in maybe Gettysburg? But I don't think I did because I believe I was careful enough to tell things to stay there. I believe. I'm just wondering where this is all coming from because I just don't think we had this here before. My husband says that sometimes he gets creepy feelings like there are things here, but he is a skeptic, so it's hard to get him to admit to things that are in the house. Other things that I've had happen that I feel are paranormal in origin is one night we were watching a football game and my husband was actually talking to me on the couch and I turned towards him to talk to him. Now, the angle I was turning towards him, I could see the dining room, but he couldn't because he was looking at me towards the picture window in the living room. What I saw was just a flash of light come from the kitchen, and it kind of looked like something caught on fire in the kitchen, so I was a bit concerned. Like, is something on fire? Did you leave a burner on or something? So I told him, like, did you just see that? And he's like, no. And he's like, well, maybe it was car lights, but our house is situated so if a car goes by, we don't see the lights reflecting on the wall in the dining room. So he figured that out too, and he got up and he looked and there was no fires in the kitchen or anything like that. And that night, it was really weird because I was on the couch while he was watching football. I was cross-stitching, and out of the corner of my eye, I could see something in the dining room and it was walking, and I heard click, 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 click on the dining room floor. Now you guys know I have 3 dogs, and just being Emma and thinking of what it was, I said, you know, Clover, lay down, because I thought she was going into the kitchen where I saw the light flash. My husband said to me, what are you talking about? She's on her blanket. So I saw something in the dining room and I heard it walking around, and it wasn't any of my dogs. So that was really freaking creepy, and that really scared me. I definitely think there is activity going on in here, and I'd like to find out what it is. So I don't want to stir it up further, but I'd like to investigate into it a little further than, you know, I have with the EVP. At the same time, I don't, because it's fun when you go out and you investigate, but when you actually have to live with it and it's poking at you in the middle of the night, it kind of sucks, you know. I like friendly ghost, but I don't like friendly ghost waking me up in the middle of the night. Enjoy your EVP and let me know what you guys think. And I will have more videos coming up for you guys. It's been a very hectic hell week for me, the last 2 weeks actually. But I do plan to go on to some cemeteries in the fall, take some pictures, try to get some EVP, and I don't know where else I'll be led to. So I'll let that be a surprise for you guys. And thanks so much for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe. And as always, if you are a subscriber, I appreciate all your support. Thanks again. Bye!